This is Palantir. Here are your price targets for Friday. We ended the day at $21.71, up 0.56%. The day's low, $20.66. The day's high, $21.74. To the north side from where we are takes us to resistance and a potential take profit area at 22.43. Above that, at 3 standard deviations, 22.78, and at 4 standard deviations, 23.12. To the south side, at support and a potential buy-in area, 21.05, 20.71, and at -4 standard deviations and another level of support, 20.36. Ignore the pink lines. Those are my previous buy-in areas. Now looking left, note the bounce here at support, sell off at resistance, and a buy-in here at support. There's a gap that I have been tracking to the downside. And remember, I was tracking this in my gap and go trades as well. So I stopped because it basically gapped up on every gap that I was tracking. So then I switch it out and I look at something else. But there are gaps to the downside, which are still in play, but I don't track that for my gap and go trades. But for this purpose, I will. And we are looking at to the south side. Turn off my magnet. Change my color. Add another price at 16.72. Let me move this out of the way. I like to track the end of the day's prices just to kind of show me where I've been, possibly where I'm headed. And then we've got another nasty gap to the south side, not in our zone, not close to where we are, just something to be aware of to the downside. But on the 5-minute channel, as you can see, we are going up, fortunately. But should we reverse course, this is something to watch out for. Now the RSI is turning up. We are not overextended yet, but note anytime we cross that critical area of 70 and above, we do crack here, 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 here. Look at that. Okay, do not ever expect price to stay where it is without cracking to the south side and this cracking with it. And of course, there could be another leg up at some point. Now on the monthly time frame where I like to troll, look, we've got a downward movement here at 58, and maybe if we cross over, hopefully there's a reversal, but we have never gone below 45 on the monthly time frame. And we have on the weekly, and right now we are at 53, not overextended. On the daily, touched 30 and bounced, made our way up on the daily. And as you can see, I've tracked this many times in the past, and I'm in this trade still. I don't think I will sell any more of my shares, but definitely I would consider buying more if we cracked. I would love to pick more shares up in this $13 range. That would be amazing. Let's flip this back to the 5-minute. Option R if you want to reset your chart. And now I'm going to go over Crwd. Thank you to Trader Murat for pointing this out. On Tuesday, the 23rd, he let me know that on the 4-hour and on the daily time frame, the RSI was near 30 and the price went up. I was away in Palm Springs, so I never got a chance to take a look at the activity, so now I will. But first, let me show you what we look like on the 5-minute time frame. It's been a long time since I looked at Crwd. I had a girlfriend or I have a girlfriend that did some freelance for them and she loves the company. Now, we ended the day at 298.02 and up 0.13%. The range 287.91 on the low end, 299.85 on the high end. We are at resistance. If we are down here and we climb to this level, that is resistance and a potential take profit area. I will anticipate if we continue to go up, because the chart is going up on the 5-minute, to grind along here before price either goes up or cracks to the south side. But from where we are, the middle of the trend and the baseline takes us to 298.02. That's where we are today. 314 cents. Above that, at another level of resistance, 309.28, 313.86, and let me drag that down, 318.57. To the south side, at support, 290.86, 286.07, and 281.43. Now, we gapped down, so I anticipate a gap up, obviously, and that touched and filled right here at roughly 297.54, and then we bounced a little bit more to this middle of the trend. Now, we gapped up, which means I anticipate a gap down to fill. That's how gaps work. Now, it touched right here, so this is no longer a threat to our accounts to the downside. That touched at 289.26. We hit support and bounced all the way up to this level, resistance at the middle of the trend. Note the buy-in, the sell-off. The sell-off here and here, and we cracked all the way to the south side here. But obviously, it's a gradual crack. This just didn't happen overnight. Slowly making our way down. Obviously, trades in between there, though, at support and resistance. The RSI turning up, plenty of room to the upside. Now, let me mark out April 23rd. The 23rd is right. Let's do the beginning of the 23rd, and then I will flip this over. I'm doing this just so I can mark my lines. It makes it easier for me to see when I flip it over. So he's talking about the 23rd. Let's go to the 4-hour. Again, when you play different time frames, you get different buy and sell signals. So that is the 23rd right here, roughly. Note RSI was down here, and we ran up, just like he said. Ran up here, ran up here, ran up here, sell off down up here, and the cycle repeats itself. Note how we fell all the way down, making our way back up, down, and then obviously down here as well. And then the sell-off here, overextended. Do not ever think that the RSI will stay up here. It will consolidate, base, grind its way, and I always anticipate it cracking after we hit this level for a breather. Now, for the 4-hour, I will give you some targets. It's hard to see because TradingView changed the way they mark things out on this linear. All right, to the north side at resistance, 308.84, and then back to the middle of the trend, 351.25, and then 392.36. The 1-year price target is 398.03, which represents a 33% return from where we are. Now, if we crack and go lower, that's 287.95, obviously a more attractive buy-in area. And then down here, at 267.46. It's not going to get there for a while, I don't think, because right now we are in an upward channel on the 4 hour. Yeah, as I mentioned, I have not tracked this in a very long time. Wow, look at this. And Murat also pointed this out back on January 14th, 23, when it was only $99.53. If only we jumped in when he made this observation. All right, now let's flip this over to the daily. RSI, look at this. Looking more attractive, a potential buy-in area for some when we reached this area, but you got to always be setting alerts or going through and checking individual stocks. Otherwise, you'd never know, or at least other traders telling you, joining chat rooms, making notes, people read comments. So look at that. And then it started to run up. We are at 43 and still hooking up. Plenty of room to move to the upside, but obviously it's going to whip you around. It's not going to come easy. Look at this. $94.72 on January 7th. All right, on the daily now, we're getting closer to the middle of the trend, and that would take us right there to roughly 315.74. If we hit this area and we continue to go up, I'll anticipate we grind along at the middle and then crash for some consolidation, basing, barcoding, and then possibly making another leg up according to the analysts. Now to the south side, a better price target or buy-in area would be along this line here, roughly now at 264.68. Now back to the 5-minute time frame. Again, option R to reset. And note how I just lost a line, and that's what happens when I go back and forth and TradingView gets wonky on me and it drives me batty. So this is a good time for me to end the video now, but I just want to show you, I do track all of, well, not all, a couple hundred tickers on Vanguard's Total Stock Market Index Fund. And congratulations if you made some money off of Newmont Corporation, up 12% today, so that's fantastic. And Chipotle, I cannot believe the stock is $3,111, up 6%. And Union Pacific Corporation, up 4.99%. And a loser today, Meta. But look at this. I'm tracking a gap to the upside. That will take us, and this will touch on Friday for sure. That is simple, easy to get to. Oh, no, that's not the middle. Let me get right there. 449.18, no problems. And then it could hit this line, which is resistance from where we are, and then flush right back down again because we are going south. And the range, though, here at 2 standard deviations, and I'll stop right there, is 487.45, and to the south side, 410.57. All right, that is a look at Palantir, CrowdStrike, and quickly at Meta. Have a great trading day.